So some may wonder why I played that song. It will never get struck because it's from a record label that I'm part owners of. That's Morgan Rowley and Loso Da Vinci under Jukebox Bully. What's going on, everybody? So, interesting day. I'm watching. I let everybody get out there and do their reporting from inside the courtroom and from outside the courtroom. But I'm going to report uh, as much as I can today because there's a continuation of the process, the plaintiff's, the defendant's case. So I don't want to say too much right now that would uh, impede the cross examination or the examination of the witness because they look at the reporting. They do a lot of, I'm sure they have someone from their team that looks at the reporting. Okay. How's everyone doing tonight? How's everyone doing tonight? Everyone's good? Give you guys a few more minutes to get in here. What did you think about this song? The tea is ginger and lemon. Just kidding, guys. Okay, here we go. So there's been reports that TashaK might be brought up on a perjury charge, and I would say that might be a possibility based on what's happened today, but the judge hasn't ruled on it yet. You have to actually file a hearing and point out the things that could be perceived as perjury. And let's just get right into it. And what could she have done that would have been perceived as perjury? Um, One, if you do a deposition under oath, and then you come to court and you give testimony that is uh, contradicting the what you said in deposition, that poses a big problem. And it's kind of hard to get around that because you have a sworn deposition and now you're coming to court and saying something totally different. And that's what happened today. It happened. One, it was kind of a subtle perjury, and then one was a pretty obvious perjury. So let's talk about it. And you guys who've been following her might be aware of something she has said in her video, but we saw the footage in court today. So before I get into that, let's just talk about how do we lead up to that point. The defense played this hour and the hour and probably 30, 40 minutes of video of audio of her and Lovely T talking. Uh, and I was wondering earlier, why would they play the whole entire video when we've heard parts of it from the plaintiff's case in chief? For some weird reason, they wanted to play the entire video, but the plaintiff didn't. When they put on the video evidence for this particular call, they didn't play the entire video. They pulled pieces out, uh, and it was they isolated the areas that they wanted the jury to focus on. So I think it was a miscalculation in playing that entire video for the jury because it was kind of listening to Tasha K's vulgar nature of doing her delivery for a jury who has never heard that type of I guess presentation. It might have been uncomfortable for that jury to watch, and I think that watching some of the jurors, some of them they weren't taking too many notes, which was interesting. In that they have been taking a lot of notes throughout the trial, but they weren't taking too many notes. So I don't know how you would want to read that. But I would just say that I don't think that was a good strategic move. The case, uh, Tasha K right now is under cross examination by Cardi B's attorneys. It's specifically Sarah Motz's have her under cross examination, and I was told today and the court was told today that cross-examination may be another 2 to 3 hours. That's a long cross-examination. But apparently they want to pick apart everything she said during her direct examination by her attorney, Sadir Sabak. He was the one that was examining her, because they got, the defense has their putting on their case in chief. So when you have a 3-hour cross examination, that is might be concerning for the defense, because now with a 3-hour cross examination, and then it may be a rebuttal to the cross, and then they're going back and forth for the most part. But that was a pretty long cross. So let's talk about where Tasha perhaps perjured herself. In a video that was played, she said to her subscribers in that video that her lawyer looked at the cease and desist and said it was fake or it was bogus, and basically they threw it away. Here's the problem with that statement. When she gave that statement on her video, the lawyer for Cardi B asked her, "Was that your attorney at the time? The attorney that you said looked at that letter, was that your attorney? Were you represented at the time?" She said no. So here's where it gets tricky. If you say that to your subscribers that you had an attorney who reviewed the cease and desist letter and said it was bogus, but when you asked under cross-examination by the attorney for Cardi B, when she asked you, was that your attorney that reviewed the letter? She said no. Okay, so why did you say to your subscribers that you had an attorney, but you said in your deposition that that wasn't your attorney? So then the lawyer said to her, "Do you know you're perjuring yourself right now?" And she was a little confused when the lawyer said that, and she was the one confused, but everyone else heard what they heard, because you either had when you told your subscribers you had an attorney who reviewed the letter and said it was fake. Then you said in your deposition, there's also taken under oath that when you said that you didn't have an attorney. So were you lying then or are you lying now? I like that line. Were you lying then or are you lying now? So she raised the attorney raised that that issue. And what'll happen in a claim of a potential claim of perjury, they're going to have to ask the judge for a hearing to rule on that. And it may happen at the end of the trial. It may happen, probably won't happen, it probably won't happen until we get to the conclusion of the trial. And the judge, has to rule on it. So the judge may say, yeah, well, based on your depositions testimony and your in courtroom testimony, this may or may not be perjury. And it's typically, it could be a sanction, it can be some time in jail, but I don't think they would put her in jail, because at this point they've seen that she has a propensity to stretch the truth. And I think that if the judge does that, then he's really pissed off. And if they had to actually have a hearing on this, that's not good. You having a federal court hearing on potential perjury, that could be a problem. And they're not these federal judges they're not. They usually go by the letter of the law when an issue is raised on perjury, and that might be a maneuver for Cardi's attorney to perhaps get her to, I don't know, keep slipping up or take it off her A game. Well, she's not really on the A game. She's probably on the D game. But I think that the lawyer made a good point to raise in front of the jury. And the jury was listening to that because it didn't make sense, the logic behind it. So here's what she said. she said that that was her friend. The lawyer was her friend. So so now she's cleaning it up because she has a deposition where she says that she didn't have a lawyer, but then on the witness stand, she said that she told her subscribers that this was an attorney at the time. And no, correction. She said in the deposition that she had an attorney, and then she said on the video she had an attorney. But then when asked, "Was that actually your attorney?" she said no. So did you have it? Were you lying to your subscribers? Were you lying to the in a deposition? And then she started cleaning it up and saying that. And the lawyer said, "Are you cleaning it up right now?" And she tried to essentially say she was providing some clarity, but you can't provide clarity when you said something under oath in a deposition. The clarity time is over. So she said, "Well, that's my friend who happens to be an attorney." Okay, so now you're coming clean. You called the friend up that was an attorney, and you asked him or her to look at the letter. That's what she's claiming, but there's no proof to that because the lawyer that she claimed that she asked that's in Washington D.C. We don't know who that lawyer is that she asked. So then the Sarah Motz asked her, "So what kind of law does he or she practice?" She said, "Family law." So then Attorney Matz asked her, "So you had a family law attorney give you advice on a defamation case?" She said, "Yes." She said, "Yes." And that was okay. So we don't even know to today if she actually talked to an attorney back then when she was telling people that she had an attorney look at the letter. And then the lawyer asked her, "So you looked at the names on the letter. Did you make an attempt to Google the name to see if that was an attorney?" Because he's a well-known attorney in New York. Did you make any attempt to verify this yourself? So so what are they going to do? You can't bring the lawyer in now that she said she talked to. We don't know if she talked to anybody. I mean, she made this overture in the courtroom, but she didn't say who the attorney was. Because as you said it, the judge could literally call the attorney up and say, did this person, TashaK, ask you for advice back then? And again, this is a federal judge, so I don't care if you're in New York, you've been in Chicago, California. It's a federal judge. So yeah, and I don't know if the attorneys will make that attempt or will the defense stipulate that she wasn't telling she what no, they can't even stipulate that because they can't even stipulate because they already accused her of perjury. So it's kind of weird that they didn't prep her for that. So we have to see where this goes. But I think that tomorrow, just based on what I heard during the direct examination by Sabak, the plaintiff's attorney is going to grill her hard on a lot of things she said. And again, this is playing out in front of the jury. You know, it's playing. And they might be pissed off just having to listen to the entire audio of Lovely T and TashaK. And it's going I can't say too much just yet, but it's going to be interesting tomorrow. And woo. Anyway, I'm just reading some questions here real quick. And hold on, I want to talk about that review that was posted on her on was posted on Olga's I guess uh, law page. I asked the attorney coming out to court today. I tried to give him to make a statement, and I asked him essentially, was that your client who made that review on your co-counsel? He didn't want to respond. And if it was untrue, that would have been the time to clear the record. So I did ask him on camera, because if they're trying to claim that that was a fake story, that was the time to clear it up. You have the press in front of you. You could have easily addressed that, but he didn't want to address it. So he's obvious, that's your co-counsel. You have a law firm together. You would have known if your client had made that type of statement. He didn't say anything, so the absence of the answer would lead people to believe that the authenticity of the post is is uh, Tasha K. So unless she's coming out and saying for the record that she didn't make that post, it stands on its own, and she would be the person to clear that up. So I don't know. No, someone said that Cardi say that she had cold sores in the video. She was speaking in Spanish. No, she was saying that it was a it was a they were making lies. It was a lie. She actually refuted that video. I know which video you're talking about. So uh yeah, she said it was a lie. She said people just making stuff up. I can't answer a question that, like I see that question about beauty queen. I'm not even going there with that. I'm not gonna be talking about another man's wife. Maybe I will. No, I'm not gonna do it right now. No. Well, that someone would have had to went through great length to write that post, and that they the lawyer had it was last year. Why would the lawyer have the client, if it was a client, have them remove it? Or if it wasn't, they could have wrote a letter. They're lawyers. They could have wrote a letter and say, no, my client said that it wasn't her. But it stood up there. And why didn't it come down? That would be interesting to see, but their response. No, Offset is not in court. He's probably with the kids. Cardi's staying in a house in Georgia, so he's probably with the kids. 'Cause I don't think the Migos is on tour, so he's probably with the kids, and I'm sure they got a nanny as well. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just looking at a few questions. I had missed someone yesterday. I had missed someone yesterday. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Stranger things have happened. And the fact that, and I want to say this, in the things that was said about the account about Olga by this purported person being Latasha Kibi, were it's pretty accurate. She's described stuttering, which was happening throughout this trial. Uh, Unprepared. Well, the judge pretty much said you know you guys weren't really prepared for this case, and he said that during the pre-trial, and he with all the admonishments during the trial. Yeah, well, remember that post was done last year, but the things that were said in that post is what we're witnessing in the courtroom. So unless someone can see in the future, yeah, pretty much this, she might have had some reason to say the things she said, but I wouldn't have said it and then go. I wouldn't have said the things and then go in the courtroom and have this person try to defend you. Someone said, could Cardi make demands to YouTube to have the essentially have the videos removed? Well, if it was that easy, it would have been down already, because I would think that the first thing you do is send a cease and desist, and send a takedown notice to YouTube. So I believe that stuff was done already. For whatever reason, YouTube haven't taken action. This is why I say that a a, 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 a verdict in favor of Cardi B is significant because then the judge is issued an injunction based on defamation, invasion of privacy. And then now the floodgates are open where now people will be able to use this case as precedent and moving forward on takedown notices on various things that could be perceived as defamation. So it's interesting to see the outcome of this case because it may have a widespread uh, uh, approach to how you deal with this defamation, cyberbullying. I coin it cyberbullying. I coin it cyberbullying. I don't like to make light of the fact that someone contemplated suicide because of the things that were said. So that's a form of bullying. And you guys know that there been offline bullying, which resulted in people taking their own life. So now you use the internet to cyberbully people, and some people, depending upon how they cope, their coping mechanisms are, they will probably kill themselves just because of the things that people are saying about them. Don't matter if you have a lot of money. Don't matter if you just think about the people who committed suicide. They were celebrities. Just think about that. Just think about all the people that have money that committed suicide. Think about all the celebrities in Hollywood that end up you find them in the hotel. There were a lot of celebrities that died in hotels. They committed suicide or they had drug overdose. But whatever the case is, people don't cope, are not able to cope like some people. So you just can't make light of that fact. You really can't. I don't understand, RJ. I don't understand that question. I think maybe you want to rephrase it because it's not really clear. Yeah, I would think again going back to that post, someone would have flagged it, or it's been 6 months, and you being the lawyer, would you want something like that just sitting online for 6 months? I did make an attempt to ask the attorney. Could have cleared it up. He had an opportunity. You can't say I defamed because you had that opportunity to set the record straight if that was not true. So you had your opportunity. I want to clear that up as well. Someone sent a DM to me around, I'll tell you exactly when it was. They sent a DM to me around 3:30 in the morning. I'm asleep. I'm not checking DMs at 3:30 in the morning. And they said to look at uh this review. And I looked at it probably around, I think I got up about 4, 5 o'clock in the morning and I looked at it. And I saw it. And then I started doing my own research and I saw the actual post online. So yeah, that's where I got the screen grab. Uh, I think I shared it with someone because I didn't actually have the person's hand. I had the person's name, but they handled, that was masked because I don't want people harassing other people. You're correct. The jury determines the amount of the damages. You are correct. I don't know if YouTube will delete the channel, but I would say that a case like this, it's a possibility because again, this is a federal case, and they will start looking because once this case, whatever the outcome is, it's either going to because it's a bad PR situation for YouTube if the federal courts rule that this was a form of defamation. then I'm sure there are going to be petitions started based on whatever happens in this case to for YouTube to start policing their platform much better. People are going to probably reach out to the president, the CEO, or anyone that can make something happen based on this. And there's going to be a floodgate open where people are going to come out and say, "Hey, I've been cyberbullied, I've been defamed, I've been doxxed." Yeah, they need to address all that. Okay, some interesting questions coming through here. Hold on, guys. I can't be in someone's head why they would do a review like that. I wouldn't even speak to that because certain people have been a certain person is known to manipulate the situation, and I wouldn't put anything past uh, her at this point. I would not put anything past her. If that sounds biased, you got to sit in the courtroom. You got to sit in the courtroom. Okay, guys. What I'm just doing is just reading a few questions that stand out because it's with this with the testimony because you got to think that the jury listened to almost 2 hours of videos, and then there was the direct examination that lasted maybe an hour and a half before cross started. So the call with Lovely T was interesting for a number of reasons. Um, but I just don't want to talk about tonight. I want to see how they respond to that the uh, the call on the cross because it's going to be interesting. But I don't. I what I'm not trying to do is help either side with their case in that um, some of the things I saw. Um, I want to see if they talk about it. With some obvious things that was there in that call, some very obvious things that was there. So I'm assuming the during the cross examination they're going to address that stuff. But it's not for me to help the defendant win a case. I'm not trying to do that. Uh, Not at all. So someone said, I don't think that she wrote that review. It doesn't make sense for her to do that and keep the same attorney. Well, it don't make sense to go to a federal trial with the video still on the site. So the logic is skewed. You're going to a federal trial and the videos that are online is the evidence that they're using against you. So where did they where things have happened? I just don't know why the lawyers who were that she has that are aware of the takedown notices or cease and desist, why just tell her, is it really worth it? Well, might be worth it if the lawyers are being paid. You know, it might be worth it for one side. But they say, there's a saying, fair exchange is never a swindle. Let that sink in for a second. Fair exchange is never a swindle. Is she getting fair exchange or is she not? Well, YouTube is not on trial right now, but then they are. I think they're YouTube's on the public opinion right now, but let's see what the case yields. Well, I I think Lovey T may speak on it at some point, but there's no need for her to speak on it because she might be called in as a witness. She might be on the witness list. Who knows? And so she can't speak on it. I mean, it would make no sense for her to speak on it now. They're using a communication that she had with Tasha and they're playing in the court. Um, the plaintiffs uh, have played it. A plaintiff's attorney played it in their case in chief, and the defense is using it. While I think the defense is going beyond, what they should be doing with that audio, because you need to isolate, and they didn't do that. You need to isolate parts in that audio that is relevant that you want the jury to hear. So if TashaK is on cross examination by the attorney for a Cardi, I didn't hear. You listen to a long video, a long audio, and it had to be some kind of relevance. If you couldn't find a time code where you want that to really resonate with the jury, I mean, it was just a lot of vulgar stuff that you heard in the audio, blaming and mm, uh, perhaps deflecting and manipulation, and so many things that I heard in that. Um, and I just want to see how they address it tomorrow. It's one big thing that may pose a problem. And I'm gonna ask the people who listen to that audio. What do you think the biggest thing in that audio that may pose a problem for Tasha K? In that audio, if you heard the audio, what do you think is the biggest thing in that audio that may pose a problem for the defendant? Those who have listened to that audio. Let's see here. Let's see if anyone can figure that out. Whoa, someone got real close to the answer. Someone got close. I ain't gonna tell you who it is, but they got close. It was no law broken because the call was initiated by Tasha K. But it's something in that answer that you provided that may provide some ammunition for the plaintiff. Uh, and you almost there, but you didn't really hit it. I really don't want to say it now, but you're close. You're close. You on one side of that spectrum, but you can get closer, and it's something that's very significant. Let's see here. You're not close enough. No, you're close, but not close enough. Yeah, no. Yeah, Lovey T. Yes, she went undergo surgery and she's just recovering. But guys, I'm gonna tell you the answer tomorrow. I'm not gonna tell you tonight. I'm gonna tell you the answer tomorrow after during. I might be able to tell you the answer tomorrow during lunch. Assuming we start on time, I might be able to tell you tomorrow as soon as we start on if we start on time. Someone said free Teddy. I like that Teddy. I felt like that Teddy. You could have put a button or something on the other side, but you guys treated that Teddy bad. You let him get on camera. He didn't have both his eyes. It was just bad. Uh, anyway, I digress. Mm, mm. You're almost there. You're almost there with that answer. And I said it on a video earlier, but I took the video down. I said it on the video. If anyone looked at my recording earlier on Instagram, I said it. I said it. Someone asked me, "Is this the messiest trial I've seen?" Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. It's just incredible that this case even came to. Well, had to, because at the point when you decide you don't want to take the videos down, It had to come. It had to come. Yeah. All right, guys. I would stay on a lot longer, but I don't have an incentive to stay on any longer. I need some incentives. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. No, I'm kidding. No, not really. Okay, I'm gonna stay on for a few more minutes, guys. Let me go through my notes real quick. Hold on, guys. I'm watching your questions. Let's see here. I wanna I want you to listen to something. I'm just give you a little snippet real quick. Let's pretend you never told me. Never told me how bad you wanted me. That's our artist. That's our artist. I'll hit you another one. I can't let you hear that one. Come on. Come on.
Someone needs to take my phone away from you before you do something stupid.
Yeah, someone needs to take a lot of people's phone. This could be good for my health. I should get over my share. I can't. You've on my mind a little more than usual. And you know why I can do that? Because I'm a part owners of the music, so I can do that. The music won't get flagged. How about that? How about that? Anyway, what we have here. That's right. I can play the music. I can play it. It can't get flagged. Well, you gonna flag my record label? Yeah, you're not gonna do that. Mm. Someone just posted. Someone just someone just put a comment in there. You kind of nailed it. You are 99% right. Oh, that was good. Mm. Do friends do that to friends? How many of us have real friends? Mm. Interesting. Mm. I want to say something. This is. Mm. I want to say something, but I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off. I think that a few you came close to how that audio could be real damning for the defense. A few you came very close. I kind of broke it down earlier. I don't know who heard me, but I did break it down and gave you. I painted a picture that if you think about that call back then, um, it was something significant about the foundation. I'll give you another clue: the foundation of that call and how it occurred. You should think about that. Or more importantly, how did everyone get an opportunity to hear the call? Hey, someone just said it. Someone just said it. They just said it. Someone just gave the answer. They gave the answer, but I can't say it. You said it. You said it. You said it. You said it. You see the thing about that call, most people wouldn't do that unless they have malicious intent. That's what it is. You had to have some type of malicious attempt to do that. If that is your friend, then you wouldn't do that. So why did you really do it? Mm, that's it. That's it. And that's a big question that has to be answered because that means you were navigating the call. You had the you were the person controlling the narrative of the call. It's going to be hard for you to get around that. It's going to be very hard for you to get around that. It's going to be very hard for you to get around that. Um, don't care whatever was said in that call and who was doing most of the navigating in that call. Jury's going to see that too, because how many people have friends that just record the calls unless they're doing it for nefarious reasons? Right. So just listen to the entire call if you have the time, and then think about everything was said in that call, and then you'll pretty much see how that may be a problem. I'm gonna read a few more questions if I can answer them. I will. I believe the recording is still online. The recording is still online. Now, this case could be. No, I'm not even going to say that. I'm not going to say that because I haven't heard anything in this case that provided a affirmative defense for TashaK. But I would say today there was some things that happened that you know if you don't have your thinking cap on, you can say, well, maybe that's why she did it. But again, I want to see what happens under the cross. I would just say the plaintiff, Cardi's team has to nail it under the cross. Nail it under the cross. That sounds biblical. Nail it on the cross. Yeah, maybe. You know. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. All right. Let's see. I didn't miss anyone tonight. I think we good. I'll read the comments and maybe tomorrow I'll come back and answer them. I gotta get sleep. I gotta get up early. Early day. Appreciate everybody. Tiffany, where you at, Tiffany? I see you working overtime, Tiffany. Good night, Phyllis. Appreciate everybody out there. I'm not a lawyer. I saw that earlier. No, I'm not an attorney. I'm not an attorney. But if I was, I might advise her not to take this to the trial. I might have did that. Good night.